Divorced, Not Divided. I'm Meg Phillips.
And I'm Nathan Burkhart.
Yay! I did it.
Good job, Megan.
Thanks for joining us this week. Do we want to dive in with a story about Holden and Lottie?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have one. So Holden has been begging for a phone. Actually, I just wanted to navigate this with you on the air. Holden has been begging for a phone. And I want to know what your feelings are on a phone for an 8-year-old.
I don't want him to have a phone.
Okay, I have a question though. Could we do one that's like a flip phone, like that you can program certain numbers in?
Yeah, maybe. Is it the type that he has to text? He'll have to hit the number 1 3 times.
Yes, and the Z 4 times, 9
How did
4
people
times.
do that?
Well,
So this is where I'm at. So I think it's important that he has the ability to call us if he's in a situation that makes him feel uncomfortable or something happens where he needs us.
I don't want him to have access to internet.
Sure, because he'll just play games the entire time.
Yeah. But he knows how to work the search engine. Like, what's he gonna search?
Oh,
I guess
he's gonna look up dinosaurs and things like that. Yeah, I think if he had like an emergency phone, I'd be comfortable with it. But it really needs to be something that
Like parent controlled.
Yeah, makes sense. I don't want him to have essentially a Game Boy with him.
No. But he was like, I want to be able to call my best friend this summer. And he didn't say it with a Southern accent. He didn't say it with a Southern accent. Sorry about that. So but he did want to see his best, call his best friend. And I was
Sure.
like, oh, that's kind of fun. Like, what if we programmed a couple of safe numbers? You know, I've looked up lots of apps. I'm going to send them to you.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'd be comfortable with that as long as he has got the ability. There's got to be boundaries, right?
Well,
I don't want him getting used to the way that we all are and having his phone.
That's what
by
I
him all
mean.
the
But
time.
also, I started thinking these flip phones, where you can put in certain numbers and emergency moments. But we were able to call our friends during the summer to be like, hey, can you come over and play or talk on the phone on a landline?
I never thought about that. We did have a phone, and it was just shared by the family.
It was shared by the family, but you could talk to your friends and ask them to come play and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, oh, if we have something like that kind of mimics that, the abilities of an old phone, the stuff we did, might be valuable because, I want him to still be able to call his friend to see if they want to come over and play and have that type of independence that we actually got with a landline.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And phone skills. Kids these days don't have them. They don't.
What are phone skills?
Actually talking on the phone instead of texting to each other.
Oh, really?
A lot of people have anxiety talking with their voice with another person. Yeah. Like our producer. And
like Emily?
I prefer a text. What could I say? I like to read it and I like to think about it
want to know
a
why
lot.
I don't like texts? I always read the wrong tone.
I
don't
do
know
too.
how many arguments I've gotten into fights with people because they sent me a text and I'm like, I thought they were pissed at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they're not pissed at me at all.
I think we're showing our age though, Nate, because these younger kids, but really these younger kids, these younger adults, these younger adults are like, oh no, I don't want to call for if there's any reason to call, they'll be like, will you do it? And I'm like, well, yes, I want Holden to have phone skills.
Yeah, I get annoyed by group text change.
Oh, I love those.
Well, because I mean, my phone's down for 15 minutes and I've been
all right. Now we're
messaged
just
20
kind of
times. All right, let's get on to the topic for the day.
Yep. Okay, we can do this. Today we're gonna talk about. I'll let you introduce the topic. I did it last time.
Yeah. So the topic that we're going to go over today is we're each going to take time to talk about what we are looking for in our next partner.
Yeah.
And we thought that this might be a fun thing to kind of talk about because a lot of times we talk about the healing part or the anger part, but there's this really great opportunity that eventually happens down the road that you have as a person where you get to potentially have another person in your life one day,
Yes.
another person that loves you and thinks that you're an amazing human being and makes you feel like that you can do anything.
Yeah.
And so in that's something that we both very much look forward to having. And in
Yes.
some capacities, we've had it to a degree.
Yeah.
And I think that it is a really cool episode that we have the opportunity to talk to people about.
Yeah. What we're looking for.
Yeah, the optimistic part about what's next for us.
Because those people are going to play a large role in how our dynamics are going to shift.
Yeah.
And how our children's dynamics, our co-parenting is going to shift.
Sure.
I think we're flexible and communicative about by the way, let me clear something up. Communicative is a correct pronunciation.
It's just an alternate pronunciation.
I just didn't know communicative was also correct. It is lesser known. Okay, so anyway,
it just means that I'm bucking the trend.
That's Nate. So, what I'm looking for in a partner? No.
Can I start? Want to know the first thing that I'm looking for?
Oh, can I guess it?
No, I want to say.
No,
it.
I know what you're gonna say.
They better like dudes.
Yeah.
That's like somebody. I lead with that whenever I'm like, I haven't been on tons of dates, but whenever
on
I'm
apps and stuff though.
Yeah,
or
they're like,
whatever?
so what are you looking for? I was like, I really want someone that likes a guy. And they don't even know a lot of times Megan's story. They go like, ha 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 ha.
And you're like, no, I'm
like,
very
no,
serious.
I'm serious.
Please,
you have no
this
idea
is incredibly
what I'm talking
important
about.
to me. Yep, I think that's an important one. Very much so.
Why don't you start? You can talk about what you're kind of looking for, and then.
Well, I'm looking for not a guy.
Not a dude. An undude.
Undude. An undude. Please, all undudes, reach out. And if you guys think that this is some weird pandering for someone to ask us out on a date, it is.
There was a bunch of single guys on Facebook that reached out to Megan when this kind of launched. They're like, oh, that girl is divorced and she's on Facebook.
Right.
And Megan had
I'm still getting them.
And this was like the announcement. And Megan had to be like, sorry, you ain't a gal.
Yeah.
So we can't,
Well,
we can be friends.
I mean,
they
so
stop
many
texting.
people would they still are. People are friending me and sliding into DMs and being like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, and I quickly, I'm just, tell a little bit about myself. And usually a lot of them ghost me for some reason once they hear like that I'm not interested in guys.
Oh, you slid in my DMs and you don't want to be my friend.
I was like, that hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
No, I know exactly what's going on. But what's fascinating is that no women have slid into my DMs and no women have slid into Nate's.
How do you know?
Because I know. He's laughing, isn't he? I know. So women, you can feel emboldened to slide into our DMs now. Okay. I am making you so giggle.
No, I only laugh at things that are true. And it's okay.
Anyways, one thing I really am looking for is I want a rapport that's really safe, comfortable, laughable, enjoyable. So a lot like Nate. So, but a girl. No, I really do. I think, the thing that didn't work out is pretty big, but it was the sexuality piece because my friendship with you, the marriage lasted for 10 years for a reason.
Yeah.
I love spending time with you. You're a great person. This is actually just me now telling everyone to date him. But I'm looking for, I'll get serious though. I'm looking for someone who is very open to me having children. That you can't be uncomfortable with that because I'm not going to change that. I can't change that. The disclaimer on that is I'm not looking for someone to be a parent to Holden and Lottie. They already have two parents. I'm looking for someone who is comfortable being a role model.
I would be extremely frustrated if you had another person in your life that was trying to fill my shoes. And like trying to be a more authoritarian person in my kid. Not that I'm an authoritarian dad.
I mean, you are.
But
well, no,
like,
I get what you're saying.
I want my kids to know that I'm their dad and you're their mom.
Right.
And the other person there can be there. But I know it would hurt my feelings.
Right.
It would make me sad to know that you found someone that wanted to replace me.
Right. And I think that could relieve a lot of like anxiety and tension for the future partner I have is you don't need to be a parent. You just have to be a decent human being, which is, what I'd like. To be a good role model and someone who's just going to offer them support and love if they come to you.
Mm-hmm.
And know when to say like, ooh, that one's for your mom or dad.
Right. Yeah.
I just a safe person, a safe mentor is what I'm hoping for. But you gotta be okay with me having kids. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
I am looking for you go, Nate. What's one for you?
So
your turn.
I've thought about this a little bit. I know that for me, the number one thing that I very much want is consistency. Mm-hmm. And that is one thing that I think that we lacked in our marriage a lot. And that was just because of a lot of the ups and downs, roller coaster ride of the emotional stability and
sexual identity crisis.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to send us on a roller coaster.
I very much want somebody who knows who they are as a human being.
Yep.
They do not have to have the same likes as me. In fact, I would really like it if they don't. I want them to take enough interest to come to my improv shows every now and then. Right. They don't have to come to all of them, but like.
Well, you mean you just want someone to invest in
your
interest?
The thing is, if they came to me and they're like, it's my dream to always want to go to Italy and try out the food, I would be like, yeah, let's try to figure out a way to do that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would want them to be curious about where my dream vacation is. So if I'm like, I've always wanted to go to Ireland, and
I was just going to say, you're going to go to Ireland.
I would want them to be like, yeah, let's do that together.
Yeah.
I want it to be a lot of give and take.
Yeah.
I think that, like, for example, if they wanted to live in the country one day, they'd be open to living in the country, but understand that I'm very stimulated by being around people. Mm-hmm. And so if we're living in the country, what are we going to be able to do?
What kind of travel are we going to do?
To go to cities, mm-hmm. right? It's like, when does Nathan get to go see this Cubs play at Wrigley Field, right? And so like they can be different than me and they can have different dreams than me or even different values to a degree, mm-hmm. right? But they have to be curious enough to want to know more about who I am as a person.
Right.
And I think the other thing that is really important for me, and this is hard, it's like one of the first times I've ever said this, it's like they need to be okay not having children anymore. Yeah. And I think one of the things that people forget, it's like, it was my choice too, to do all this. I didn't really want to have any more kids. And I've come to the conclusion that I don't want to have any more of my own.
Yeah.
I actually think it's going to be really fun to have some stepkids or bonus kids. I think that sounds a lot of fun. And mm-hmm. I am not afraid of that at all.
Right.
I don't mind having a Brady Bunch life.
Right.
I really don't. I think it would be kind of fun. And I think that it would be really neat. But I don't want to turn the hourglass over and have another brand new baby.
Right.
Right. And that's something that is taken me a lot of times. People have come up to me and it's like, what do you think about having kids again? I know somebody that I think that you would be good with, but they might want to have kids. And before I was like, well, it always kind of depends. Yeah, maybe if it's the right person. But I think even just the last week or two, I've come to the real conclusion that that's just not something that I want.
No, I mean, I knew immediately, but that's because I had them.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm done.
And I'm looking forward to other parts of my life. And I love it that Holden and Lottie are my kids. Yeah. And I'm very content with that.
I would echo that because I'm done, like closed for business. Right. But like, even if my future partner wants to have a baby, that's not the right future partner for me because I can't go through an infancy stage again just because like I'm gonna be 40 and I know a lot of people are happy to have kids at that age and all that kind of stuff. And that's a great journey for you, but I've already done this. I've lost a lot of sleep and I value it again.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking it away ever again. Thank you.
Another big one for me is an understanding of finances, and I call it financial respect.
Dude.
for me, it's really important to me that we have like a plan and how money is spent and all that, because I read the statistics all the time about why divorce happens. Money's a big part of it. And I really don't want to get divorced again. And I know how I'm programmed. Like, I get really salty about money sometimes.
I'll just nod and say yes.
And it's just like,
I was so let you do whatever you want. I did. Yeah. Because you were actually really responsible.
Well, you let me put the family on a budget. And I'm not saying that the next person I'm with has to let me put them on a budget. I'm not saying that at all. I just want to be in a position where I don't find out that there's a credit card that got opened up and now there's all this stuff that's there. Or it's for me, it's about just honesty and respect in that capacity.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was a financial infant when I left.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't looked at a bank account for 15 years. I was like, wait, what did all these numbers mean? I've grown a lot. Tax, like all kinds of things that I've grown in an area though, but I'm glad you said I'm never giving up financial freedom again. Right. And what I've learned is like, oh, this actually does matter to me, that I know where this money's going, what I'm doing with it. I still need help and support.
Yeah.
Like with things, because that's not intuitive, but I'm never giving it up again. And I'm never sharing finances again.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't mind sharing finances as long as there's complete.
I meant like all one pot only.
Oh, sure.
Like I can't,
I can see it going either way.
I will be independent and be open to, like collaboration and a joint something. But like I will never give up something that's mine.
Yeah.
Now that I am figuring it out, like I'm not going to go back into, I guess ignorance was bliss for 15 years. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
All that work. Oh my gosh, guys, though.
It's interesting for sure. When you look at all of that, like I said, marriage or any relationship is 50-50. And that was just part of my 50.
Yeah.
Right. That was like, I didn't know how to cook.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do that. And so
I did
how
laundry.
you assign the roles is up to you.
Yep.
It's like, how do you complement each other? But like, I want to be with someone that like I feel like attractive and sexy around. Validation is actually one of my love languages, and a lot of people think that validation is like the selfish, self-centered one. I don't care. That's fine.
He's a Scorpio.
Yeah, I am a Scorpio, and like in very many ways.
I love astrology, so if you ever hear that sneak in, it's because I'm very passionate about it.
And I don't need someone being like, "Oh, look at you! You look so hot all the time." I'm like, if I'm wearing a shirt that you think looks good on me, I like to hear that. And I like to feel good when, like, I'm cool with people joking around with me sometimes, but I really love to hear when I do something that you really, really like and that you do. I don't like to hear when I'm doing things that are wrong all the time, right? But if I'm like if I go out and mow the yard and I come in and someone's like, I noticed that you mowed the yard today. That was really great of you to do that. It was getting long and I love it that you did that. I'm like, yeah, I did mow the yard today. And it just makes me feel like a better human being. And I know that that's part of me, right? But like, sometimes you're like, oh, that's a given, duh. But it's not. I'm telling you, it happens all the time. It's like someone's over there doing dishes and someone's there sitting watching TV on the couch and they come and sit down and you don't thank them. It's like, that's one thing I want to practice.
Yeah.
Like when I'm in my next relationship, I want to find one thing every single day that I can thank the other person for doing for me. Yeah, it could be as easy as a good morning text.
Yeah, you can start practicing on me.
No, we're not married anymore. I don't have to do that. For me, it's like,
how about just human decency with co-parenting?
Yeah, or if I see that they're beautiful, maybe it's not even a thank you. It's like a compliment, right? So it's like, you look beautiful.
No, I like the
today.
Thank you. Do that one and the compliment.
Yeah,
do
it could be
both.
Whatever. It's like, it's just to fill your
Make that lady
relationship
happy
with some good vibes, right? And like, to me, I like taking people out and paying for their dinner and stuff like that. Like, that's fun for me. I like being able to do that.
I now know what I want.
Okay, go ahead, go.
I want you to show me off.
Is that You want to be a trophy wife?
Yes.
For your wife?
Paint me like one of your French girls, Jack. That's one of my friends would always kind of says that when it's like, but I do. So I'm a Leo. I like attention. But I want you to, but I want to feel kind of like you said, but I want like, and I feel like you actually did that for me too. Yeah. But I want that like, here's the thing is I repay it though. Like if you show pride in me, I will hand it right back to you.
Well, I think that goes hand in hand with what I was kind of saying. It's just a sense of pride of being with that person, right?
Yep.
There has never been one person that I've been with that I haven't been proud to be with.
Right.
And it's like I feel like that, like I've been blessed to be with some incredible people.
Yeah.
But like for me, like I want to feel like that I'm like that too. Right. And sometimes
I feel like there was a lack of that, and it wasn't purposeful, but because of what I was struggling with and didn't understand.
Yeah.
Is you didn't get a lot of that.
No, I didn't
I think
feel
I showed you off as a friend a lot. Like the way friends show each other off.
Yeah.
But you needed something more, and
at the end of our marriage, I did not feel attractive or sexy anymore at all.
Right.
I just didn't.
And that wasn't purposeful. I just didn't know
and I know one day I'm going to be a saggy, old, wrinkly dude. Like, I get it, but I want to be a hot, sag, wrinkly dude. And so
you can, and you will. Okay?
But, like, part of this, too, is, like, challenging people, right? Like, if my next person challenges me, it's like, hey, let's go to the gym together. Let's, like, eat better together. Like, that's super attractive.
I do want people to challenge me, too, because, I mean, it's easy to get in your own little rhythm and get like lazy in it.
Yeah, have common goals, right? It's like
it doesn't have to be to work out.
Maybe our goals this year are to save enough money so we can go to Japan. That sounds super sweet. Let's do that. So we actually accomplish those and we push ourselves to accomplishing those goals together. I think that would be an amazing partner for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's someone that I think would be absolutely phenomenal.
He's also an Aries rising. Sorry, this feels
all my zodiac.
And he's a Pisces moon. Go date him.
No, I don't need you to be my Tinder profile.
I can write that.
I don't have a Tinder profile. I'm not on Tinder. But I think
what are you on?
No, we're not going to go in that right now. I don't. It's fine.
Go find him.
I'll find my person organically. Thank you. And I don't need help from my previous wife finding a partner. I appreciate it, Megan, but I can do that on my own.
I'm here for you.
Yeah. I think, ultimately for me, I've always said when it fits, it fits. And I don't want it to be hard anymore. If I'm in a relationship that feels like relationships can be hard. Let me go back. Relationships can be hard. You're going to go through fights. You're going to go through arguments. You're going to learn with each other. But what I want to be able to do is not feel like that because we fought that you're going to walk out the door on me. Yeah. Because I don't want to go through that hurt that I had of losing you again.
Right. I don't think we had that with fighting until the end.
Yeah.
Because when there was a solid 9 years where that wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
I don't think, unless it was.
No.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just pulse check over here.
No.
But it wasn't until the first part of our, yes, there was 2 years that was a struggle bus, y'all. But I think that happened in the last 2 years. Right. All those triggers and traumas and fears. Mm-hmm. And I think it happened fast too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me too, finding someone that will go at our own pace in our own time, that's super important. And it's so funny dating when I'm 39, so I'm going to be 40 in October. Surprise, surprise, puppy surprise. So when we look at this, it's very different.
Did you just say puppy surprise?
Yeah, I did. They're not a sponsor of the show yet.
Isn't that a toy? Isn't that a toy from 1980?
Yeah, we're riffing a lot in this, but wouldn't that be random to have puppy surprises?
Well, they don't. What are they from Mattel? I don't think they exist anymore.
Yeah, well, we're gonna bring them back.
By the way, I got to wait. No, I'm sorry. This is important. I know we're getting back on. I had a puppy surprise, and I only had one puppy, and I cried. And my mom had to go get the extra. You can buy packs of the puppies if you got a crap dud. So my mom bought me a bunch of puppies because I was a mess. Okay.
Good. Thanks, Megan.
You're welcome.
But like, I don't even know where I was at anymore.
I'm sorry.
I'm just all off because that's
puppy surprise. You're 40.
Yeah, I'm 40. So dating when you're 40 is way different than you're dating when you're 20, which is when Megan and I started dating.
Right.
Actually, a lot of the people that I meet, they actually know themselves pretty well.
Yeah.
And like when I say meet, I don't mean every girl that I go on a date with. I'm talking about women in general.
Yeah.
And they very much know what they want in a guy. A lot of times they say they want that, but that's not what they end up settling for, which is another thing altogether. But like, they are usually a really good communicator. And
yay, women.
Yeah. And a lot of them have children, or a lot of them have got other life stuff that's happened to them that you have to learn about.
You're not going to reach 40 years old in the dating pool and meet people your same age that didn't have a past.
No.
Like, they didn't just appear with like a 20-year-old mindset and a 40-year-old body. If that's the case, that's a problem.
Yeah, but some have been career focused. Like, everyone's got their own given circumstances there, for sure.
Still, there's like, there's things to navigate.
Yeah. There's a lot more life there. So, and I think that a mutual respect that there's that life there, and we're going to get through that together and have an understanding of how to do that together is super important. Yeah. It's like, if somebody would come into my house and they would see that I got triggered because something happened that reminded me of the end of our marriage, I wouldn't want that to be manipulated and turned into a thing about why me and this other person shouldn't be together. I want them to understand that that's sometimes going to happen with me, and it's sometimes going to happen with them. And this is something I've had to learn a lot for myself, right? Is understanding that, like, I can't hold anger towards somebody because they got triggered because of something else that happened in their life. It's actually a really great opportunity for me to show that partner how I can be a loving partner and support and be there for them. Yeah. Which is what I want to be. Like, and I'll work on this every day until I die, probably. I would be a more supportive person. But I want to be the guy for a girl that, if she says something like that, I can give her a hug and I can hold her and I can be there for her and understand that this might take a day or two to flush itself out. Like, that's what I really, really, really want to be.
Right. Well, Nate, I think you're already kind of there, dude. But like, you just need to find the person to give that gift to. Yeah. I think it's noble.
Timing. It's all timing.
It is. You know what? And what I'm going to say, you're going to laugh and be like, yeah, of course. I actually need adventure, and not someone who's younger, but I need, not that so much.
You need a 25-year-old?
Nope, thank you. No. Actually, that would scare me. But what I need is, I need to have someone kind of like me that's, like, there's part of me that's still 18 because I never got the chance to explore and go out and do these kinds of like exploration and that kind of stuff. Like, I want like adventures and dates and activities and that kind of stuff.
But dates can be hard because you've got kids too.
I do.
Right?
But I mean, because we have such a healthy co-parenting situation, it is 50-50. Sure. So I can plan, and we know days. When we talked about this, go check out our schedule episode.
Yeah, but that's where it's different in your situation, though, than mine.
Right.
Because sometimes the people that you're dating, they've known that they've been a lesbian their entire life, and they don't have kids unless they've adopted.
Right.
On my end.
You're right.
On my end, not only do the co-parenting schedules have to line up.
Well, I have that too, though.
Oh, sure. But
because there are some of the women that
they find out later.
They are also late life.
Yeah.
And have children.
But the thing is, though, too.
Or they're bisexual.
The thing is, too, is like, unfortunately, there's this terrible thing in our society where the guy feels like they can dump the kid on the girl, and the mom has to be the mom the entire kid's life. Yeah. And the dad can go and take a free pass and go live his life and see their kid maybe once every couple weeks.
How sad, though. That I mean, you're such an awesome dad.
No, but the thing is that you have to sit there and, like, if you're a dad that's like that, you need to work to not be like that, in my opinion.
I agree.
You need to be a part of your kid's life as much as possible, and like do whatever you can to be there for not only your kid but for your kid's mom. It's like, just because you didn't give birth to that kid doesn't mean that you don't have to be there.
Yep.
But you see that, unfortunately,
yeah.
because there's a lot of guys that have done that. And
I mean, that's toxicity.
And I've seen it.
That's toxicity in our society.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're a toxicity breaker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like I hear stories a lot of times. It's like, and a lot of times it's like you're getting into conversations with someone, you're talking about what the co-parenting schedule is like. And they're like, well, yeah, so I've got them 75% of the time and then they're with their dad every other weekend. It's not 50-50 placement in custody. And if you're like that, I challenge you. Again, I challenge you. If you're a dad, like, do whatever it takes to get, or any partner, do whatever it takes to get as close to that 50-50 as possible. If there's a reason that you don't have it, figure out what that reason is and fight like hell to get there. Because guess what? Your kids love you.
Mm-hmm.
They were born loving you and they want to be there for you.
Yeah.
So work on yourself. Like, if you got stuff you got to figure out, get it figured out.
Right.
And do the things that you need to do to prove it.
Yeah.
That you can be there. So that's not in the topic of this episode, but it is something that I've seen from multiple situations.
And it does affect the dating situation, especially for you, if the women are taking more of the, it's not a burden. Children aren't burden, but if they're taking a heavier load of the schedule, then that, and it's not equitable.
Yeah.
Then you're going to be in the dating pool if there's women that have kids, which there are. Like, it is a struggle bus to find, when the schedules meet up, because I'm experiencing that too.
Yeah. But I would change my schedule if it meant that you were with a partner that helped. Well, like, if you came to me and it's like, we're dating and their schedule's this, would you move things around so I can spend more quality time? 1,000%. If I wasn't dating with somebody myself.
I mean, that's just collaboration and talk.
I 100% would.
I think I would, because I have.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
And I always will too. Like, but that's you know what?
I think it's just being a good friend.
But I think that's the mystifying thing that people are still so surprised about, is that we're friends.
Yeah. So I've got one more non-negotiable, and then you can wrap up anything that you've got. So my last non-negotiable is you need to treat my kids with respect. And I know you've already touched on this a little bit, but like, I want them to look up to this person.
Yeah.
I want Lottie to see a really strong woman on that other side that she can use as a mentor. I want Holden to see somebody that shows what love looks like to their dad. And
I want that for your future. Yeah. I want someone that my children respect and are safe around, respect, are excited to tell me stories about. I know at first there might be some jealousy or like pings of, but I rather those have to navigate those and knowing that my children have this amazing role model than, you know what I mean, any other situation.
Yeah.
I look forward to the day that I have to cry and be like, Lottie wants her to do her hair because I suck. Yeah. I do want to cry about it, because here's the deal. If her hair looks good, that's what matters, because it might not with me. So anyways, I want that too.
Yeah.
I want you to have that too.
I really look forward to meeting like whoever I'm with. And I've said this before, I might already know them, or might already be part of my life, but I really look forward to the adventure of growing and expanding and learning from my next partner.
And I really I want that too. Boo-boo.
Yeah.
But I really look forward to you having that too, because there was so much fear of me hurting you.
Yeah.
I very much look forward to seeing you with the type of partner I always think you deserve.
Well, I appreciate that, Megan. I look forward to you having somebody there that's for you in that capacity too. I really do. And we have a great opportunity with our kids to teach them about what do different families look like.
Right.
They're going to see a very typical family structure over at my place one day, and they'll see something that is something that they're going to be able to learn
that
and grow
should be
from.
a typical
it should,
family
but
structure.
it's going to give them a really unique worldview where they've got a complete understanding
Of both.
about what love is. And they'll see what's really cool is that one day they're going to be able to see what's the same between the relationship between me and another woman and you and another woman. And that is how they're going to identify what marriage is. And it's going to be based around challenging each other, loving each other, accepting,
and they'll see
and forgiving,
that
like all those great things.
It may not be so different.
Yeah.
It's just two
It's not-
people
it's just
that
two
love each
souls.
other.
Yeah. Just two souls that love each other.
So.
Okay. I'll be quiet. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Oh no, I said all of my piece except, again, I am looking forward to just adventures, and I don't mean like youthful mistakes. I mean just adventures.
Yeah. I think that if I regret anything from the time that we were married, I took it for granted. And I've taken a couple of my other relationships for granted too, I think, where I very much I get in this point where in the beginning I'm really great. And then I fall into this comfort level where I'm like, it's just there. And I want to remind myself that you should always be working. You should always be trying to spend time with that person.
Do you
loving
mean
that person.
remembering that nothing gold ever stays, pony boy?
I have no idea what you just said. What
What?
was that?
You don't know the quote from The Outsiders?
No.
Or that he's quoting Robert Frost? Nothing gold ever stays?
Sorry.
Nothing gold ever lasts? Please, can you guys drop in the comments that you know what I'm referencing, that you have some sort of like literary...
Failed that test.
Oh, you failed like an 8th grade ELA class.
Yeah. No. I didn't fail it when I took it. I just took that information and made room for other things.
All right, well, hey, Emily, do you have a question for us?
So today I thought it would be fun if I asked you some of the Hinge prompts that people who have Hinges would fill out on their profile.
I have Hinge. I'll just...
So I'm going to do just like some of the classic ones.
Yeah.
I'm also on Hinge if anyone wants to date me.
We're all on Hinge.
Oh,
Find us.
yeah.
Okay.
Are you on Hinge? Nate, I'm asking you.
Oh. I was like, yeah, I'm on Hinge.
So find us on Hinge.
Yeah.
Okay. So first things.
But I don't look at it very often, so.
That's okay. That's okay. Find Nate, send him a good opening move or whatever it's called. So we're just going to do some stereotypical ones.
Yeah.
And remember, it's just a little blurb. You don't want to be long-winded with these ones. Okay?
She said that for you, Nate.
No, both of you. Okay. Your most irrational fear.
Go. Silence.
Sharp things. I think they're just going to jump out at me and just slice me.
Awkward silence. Awkward silence.
Perfect.
For
Okay. What you order for the table.
Brussels sprouts.
That probably that. Artichoke and spinach cheese dip.
That's good too.
It's a good one, Nate.
Emily, what do you order for the table?
Cheese curds.
What's your irrational fear? We're getting all three of us in this.
Oh, okay. I love being involved. Mine is I'm going to drop my phone down the elevator shaft when I'm getting in the elevator.
Like the crap.
Yeah, that's actually one of my actual
Ooh.
prompts on this app.
Okay.
The key to my heart is
Gifts. I'm kidding. I love emotional availability.
Attention.
mine is a good sense of humor.
Those are all really good, except mine. Okay.
I'm weirdly attracted to
People's laugh.
I'm pretty conventional. Don't be weird. I'm totally kidding. I actually like really neurodiverse moments. I like if we talk at each other for 10 minutes and then realize, oops.
my cry in the car song.
Anything Maddie Zom. I mean, anything Maddie
Dear
Zom.
Theodosia from Hamilton.
Yes.
And last, but certainly not least, my greatest strength.
Not finances.
If on my profile it says I like to work on myself for this, I'm wondering if my greatest strength is I understand I'm not perfect.
I'll give a real one. My greatest strength is, and it's grown to this, but trusting my gut.
I love that. I'd date you both. And you all should too.
I am dating myself right now. So
Okay, so we really would love it if you would like, follow, share. You can do that in several ways. On our Instagram account, which is
Divorce Not Divided Podcast.
Facebook.
Divorce Not Divided.
And our website.
I don't ever do this. www.divorcenotdivided.life.
Okay, that was not it. It was
divorcenotdivided.life.
Oh, I thought you said divorce.divided.life.
No.
Don't do that one.
Divorcednotdivided.life.
We love you. I'll do Nate's.
Yeah.
We love you.
Love you.